someone smart? What's real intelligence? Unfortunately, for many years we've measured people, and especially kids, only by how they perform at an intellectual level or by how many marks they get in class. But that's a very, very limited way of measuring how smart someone is. Today we're going to look at intelligence. The information could change how you view your kids, your colleagues, and even perhaps yourself. University researcher Howard Gardner stunned the world with his path-breaking work on multiple intelligences. Gardner questioned the idea that intelligence could be measured by IQ tests. He said that there were in fact 7 different kinds of intelligences that the standard tests could not even begin to measure. He's been called a paradigm shifter, and his work has had a profound impact on thinking and education. There are many ways in which we as parents kill our kids' natural intelligence. They go through life leading mediocre lives when they could be truly exceptional. Mostly we do this because we don't know any better. Today we're going to get a whole new blueprint for looking at people from someone who studied with Howard Gardner himself. Ashish Rajpal started out as an MBA, was worldwide marketing director for French multinational Danone based in Paris. Then, after the birth of his children, he took a complete detour and signed up to study mind, brain and education at Harvard University. When he came back to India, along with a bunch of friends, he started iDiscoveri, an organization that aims to transform the way teachers teach and the way kids learn. What was the big aha moment for you while you were studying mind, brain and education at Harvard?
Most people just take it for granted that how could you question intelligence? Intelligence is about being clever, which is usually about someone who speaks well, someone who's good with logic and numbers, can do calculations quickly and gets good marks. That's a very narrow definition of intelligence. Maybe the mind has different parts and some parts do other things well, and so everybody doesn't have to do everything well. Now that was like a sock in the solar plexus for the traditional view of intelligence. Gardner initially stated his theory in this path-breaking book called Frames of Mind. In 1983, I think it was published. And he postulated there is not one but 7 intelligences, which was like, whoa, 7 intelligences? What are the 7? Verbal intelligence can manifest itself in various ways. Say, some people may choose to write poetry or writing, or Arundhati Roy would be a good example. I think a modern example of someone who has an uncommon verbal intelligence. I think she's a very fine writer. May not agree with or Shakespeare from another era for that matter. But also public speaking. So for instance, Kennedy spoke 360 words per minute. That had some uncommon ability to do that and at the same time engage an audience. I think Bill Clinton, I've heard him speak firsthand, has an uncommon command over the language. Mathematical logical intelligence actually lends itself to extreme caricature. Yeah? Of course, you had the kind of serious Indian physicists and mathematicians, the Aryabhatta, the Ramanu. So, but kind of you imagine the modern Hilton kid sitting with glasses and giving clever answers to what is 72,000 multiplied by 32 kind of thing. But it's a lot more than that. Process logic, its ability to see reason across domains. And I think there are a lot of modern examples. I think Stephen Hawking's a brief history of time. It is such a remarkable encapsulation of a very profound idea. Musical intelligence, again something which, again if you look at North Indian culture, something relegated to, we the Sabha people don't do, I think one of the big losses in our culture has been the relegation of music to something which is not intellectual or not profound but an entertainment alone. But I think what Pandit Ravi Shankar has been able to do and stand for, and many of our dancers, many of our modern musicians, now if you see new bands like Nirvana and so on, I think you're going to see a resurgence of music in a very big way. The other one is kinesthetic intelligence. So
explain that.
That is, Sachin Tendulkar is the kind of simple interpretation of that. Hand-eye coordination, the ability of the mind to instruct the body to perform at the right places. All the sports models, the great athletes, Jesse Owen, Carl Lewis, Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan. And we spoke of liberation. I mean, look at the liberation of how some of these people coming from extreme poverty in a single generation were able to come out the moment this talent was recognized. Carl Lewis won 4 gold medals not because he was physically a superior specimen. He was a superior specimen, but there are hundreds and thousands of people like Carl Lewis. He had an uncanny ability for his mind to instruct his body at the right time. The visual spatial intelligence. The people who go to NID, I think, are some of the most interesting people I've met. And I think given where our culture is, I don't think we've given kind of even a fraction of the respect and attention, this whole space of understanding design, understanding how planes intersect, understanding color, patterns, has gotten in our culture. So, of course, the odd Satish Gujral kind of person gets the attention. But
Hussain.
Oh yes, certainly Hussain or Frank Lloyd Wright and what he was able to do for architecture in the last century.
I think to me the aha moment after reading Gardner's work was, you know what? I can look at somebody and appreciate them completely differently because I now have a different blueprint through which to look at people. For me, it was a very big revelation reading that book. Because
completely. I think anyone who has children particularly, this could be the most liberating realization you have as a parent.
if you've ever secretly felt that your kid is dumb, won't amount to much because his marks suck, think again. His natural genius may lie somewhere completely different. After the break, the 2 most critical intelligences if you want to be a leader.